Kids' educational games.
Did you know, the word orchestra comes from a Greek word meaning a dancing place? A solo is performed by one player. A musician who plays a flute is called a flautist. A duet is performed by two players.
Orchestra fact files. Search for the fact files. There are 5 to be found. An orchestra is a large group of musicians who play together. It is made up of 4 sections or families: strings, woodwind, brass and percussion. When an orchestra is playing in a large concert hall, the strings will normally sit at the front, with the woodwind sitting behind. The louder instruments, the brass and percussion, will sit towards the back of the orchestra.
The string family.
More than half the instruments in an orchestra are string instruments. They are violins, violas, cellos, double basses and the harp.
How the instrument is played.
Using the fingers of one hand, the musician presses down on the strings. A bow is held in the other hand, and the player strokes the strings with it to make the sound. Sometimes, instead of using a bow, the player will pluck the strings with his fingers. This is called pizzicato. The harp is one of the largest instruments in the string family and is played by the musician brushing or plucking their fingers across the strings.
The violin. The violin played with a bow. The violin played pizzicato. The double bass. The double bass played with a bow. The double bass played pizzicato. The Woodwind Family.
Instruments belonging to the Woodwind family are flutes, piccolos, oboes, clarinets and bassoons. The name woodwind was given to these instruments because they used to be made of wood. But today some of these instruments, for example the flute, are made from metal or other materials.
How the instrument is played.
A woodwind instrument is like a tube with holes cut into it. Sound is made by the player blowing through the tube and covering and uncovering the holes with the fingers or keys, in the same way as you might do on your recorder or tin whistle. Some instruments like the bassoon have a reed, which is a flat piece of cane that is fixed into the mouthpiece of the instrument.
The flute. The flute being played. The bassoon. The bassoon being played. The brass family.
There are 4 main instruments in the brass family. They are trumpet, French horn, trombone and tuba.
How the instrument is played.
Each instrument is made of a metal tube that is bent into a particular shape. It has a mouthpiece at one end and a bell shape at the other. To play it, the musician buzzes his lips against the mouthpiece while pressing down on a series of valves. The trombone, instead of having valves, has a slide that the player slides in and out to make the different notes.
The trumpet. The trumpet being played. The trombone. The trombone being played. The percussion family.
There are many instruments in the percussion family. Here are just a few of them: timpani, snare drum, cymbals, xylophone, glockenspiel, triangle and woodblock.
How the instrument is played.
Percussion instruments make sound by being hit, shaken or scraped. Some percussion instruments, like the timpani and xylophone, are able to play higher and lower sounds, musical notes, while others, like the bass drum and cymbals, are used for rhythm and special effects.
Timpani. The xylophone. The conductor.
Someone is needed to help make sure all the musicians play in time, and this is the job of a conductor.
How a conductor controls the orchestra.
He uses a small stick called a baton to beat time, and uses his hands and arms to show the players when to play loud or quietly.
Search in the room for the instrument that makes that sound.
Brass. Trumpet. Brass. Trombone. Percussion. Timpani. Percussion. Xylophone. Woodwind. Flute. Woodwind. Bassoon. Strings. Violin. Strings. Double bass.
Well done. You found the all instruments.